In this video, we're going to be talking about the health benefits of salmon. Say hello in the comments below if you're watching live and type in hashtag replay if you're watching on the replay. So over to you, Ronald.
Now, let's get the spelling correct. A lot of people, when you pronounce it, they don't always get it right. It's actually salmon. It's S-A-L-M-O-N, right? In French, it's saumon, S-A-U-M-O-N, but we know it in England and in Spring Atlantic as salmon, right? Now, you're very lucky to see this because a huge amount of people who are bodybuilders, weightlifters, cyclists, weightlifters, and so on, they always tend to go for eating red beef, right, to replenish their protein reserves when they need when they actually weight training, right? But this salmon is very good for weightlifters, bodybuilders, cyclists, um, swimmers, runners, long distance runners, medium distance runners, short distance runners. It's also good for office workers, right? And because why? Because it feeds the brain. Okay, the salmon, mind you, you've got to be very, very smart today because you don't know where you're getting the salmon from. Often the salmon is farmed. Now the problem with farmed salmon is that they are so close together, they rub their gills, they rub their bodies together, and they end up getting lice, right? And then that's the farm salmon. It's grown in large quantities in many parts of the world. The problem with that is that farm salmon has got so many lice stuck to it, you don't know what sort of chemicals they have to use to get rid of the lice, right? I personally spend a bit more money, right? And I tend to go for the wild salmon. I'm going to show you the one I use.
Like this one,
Like
it
that,
says wild here.
It says clearly wild. Now it says leap. That's the one I use. Leap, wild salmon, and it's called sockeye, smoked sockeye salmon. Now that salmon often comes from the wilds of Alaskan waters, and I pay a bit more, maybe a pound. But how many grams is that one, Katrina?
It clearly says not farmed over
Yep,
here, it
yep,
says,
yep.
and it's 100 grams.
Yeah.
You can look at the color.
Now you can buy salmon, right? Ordinary salmon for 300 grams for about £3, £4, £5, even £6. This one sells for about £5 in the good stores like Waitrose, okay? And if you look carefully, when you buy it, look carefully to make sure it says leap, wild. I've been using this for quite a while now, so I know it works. Wild, and it's smoked, and it's from the wilds of Alaska. Also in the back, you'll see the 5 reasons why you should buy that. Now, so like I said, if you do any sort of sport, be it active or semi-active, even playing table tennis or swimming, as I said, what you need to do is you need to make sure that your protein stores are restocked within half an hour of finishing exercise, because that's when you need the protein the most. Okay. Now this one's 100 grams. Okay. Now, depending on your level of how much weight training you do, whether it's half an hour, or an hour and a half, shouldn't do more than an hour and a half, you can eat the whole of this, 100 grams, in one sitting afterwards. Now, you need to eat this about half an hour after you've exercised, because that's when your cells are broken down, you need to replenish the protein reserves, and that rebuilds a stronger, more resilient muscle, right? Now, but I'm going to give you something that you add to it that makes it even more powerful. I can tell you, without a doubt, after 60 years of experience, wild salmon is much more effective in replenishing your protein than red meat, even chicken breast or chicken legs. Okay, they're all tasty, but that's the one I recommend. Now, to make it very effective in absorbing the protein and creating really huge muscles that are strong, and not only muscles but ligaments, tendons, even bone structure. Okay, what I recommend you do, this is the recipe I use. I use 50 grams, which is half a packet like that, 50 grams of the wild salmon. I'll get that, wild sockeye, and I'll get half a container of that, or the bag. Now let me show you one more look. Here it is. That's what it looks like. And side is a side. Okay, so half a container of that, which is about 50 grams, plenty. Now, what you do with that, you eat 80 grams of what? Watercress. Okay, very important, because the watercress provides the chlorophyll and the enzymes to break down the salmon in your body even faster than normal, and your digestion's improved, and you never ever have a problem with digestion if you eat watercress with salmon. Now,
In the UK, one bag of watercress is about 80 grams, right?
yeah, there you go. They're cheating. In fact, it used to be 85 grams for a pound. Now it's like £1.60 for used to be 85 grams. Now it's £1.60 for 80 grams. So I'm going to write to them and say, listen, why are you cheating us for 5 grams and charging us more money? But regardless of that, you need to heat all 80 grams of watercress with 50 grams of the salmon. In addition to that, I strongly recommend another key vegetable, and that is the organic celery. Right? Now, whether you're an executive, whether you're a runner, long distance, weightlifter, or whatever, you need to have 3 stalks of celery per day. The most appropriate time is after lunch or after dinner. 50 grams of salmon, 1 bag of 80 grams 80 gram watercress, 3 stalks of organic celery. Guess what else? 2 tomatoes, 2 organic tomatoes. Right, that combination, you could even add a little small bag of spinach. That is a fantastic combination on a regular basis, day in, day out, to maintain your muscle structure well into 70s, 80s, 90s, even 100. So, recapping, 50 grams of salmon, 3 stalks of celery, 1 bag of 80 grams watercress. What else do we say? Tomatoes. 2 tomatoes, 2 good sized tomatoes. If you don't get the 2 good sized tomatoes, you can have about 8 or 10 of the cocktail tomatoes.
Cherry tomatoes.
Cherry tomatoes. All right. So we look forward for you to eat that for about a week, and measure your muscles, measure your strength, measure your mindset. That's another benefit. When you eat salmon the way I've just recommended, your mind will be sharp as a tack, and you'll be sharp. You won't get dementia. You won't get Alzheimer's, because you're feeding the brain as well as the muscles.
So there's also other sources of salmon apart from the wild smoked salmon that we've seen here.
Yes.
You can get it fresh as well in slabs, and
Yes.
you can cook it yourself.
Yes.
Just shallow fry it. I normally don't even add a lot of oil, because the salmon fish is actually already oily.
Yes, exactly.
So it won't actually stick to the pan. Yep. And we've also got the canned version. You can see pink salmon from Alaska as well.
Yep, that's right.
Okay.
So if you can't get the wild salmon, use this one. Okay, the wild salmon, you can see it's wild. Pink salmon. Can of that's enough. Okay.
Yeah, this is 212 grams.
Yes.
So it's quite a lot. You can share it with your family over here.
Exactly. You could use, if you're a really heavyweight lifter, you need a whole can. But if you're semi-regular or not as heavily lifting, you can use half a can of that. Okay. But remember, even if you eat the can, add the watercress, add the celery, add the tomatoes. And also one more thing, you can add 1/4 teaspoon of sel de Guerin and a drizzle apple cider vinegar. That makes it really, really digest well. So we look forward to getting your feedback.
Yeah. Although saying that normally the wild smoked salmon, it's a bit salty as well, so you may not have to actually add salt to it.
But I like the sel de Guerin because it adds iodine.
Sure.
That's the reason why I recommend it. Quite right. The salmon can be salty in its own right, but 1/4 teaspoon of sel de Guerin doesn't add that much salt. But what it does add is the minerals from the sea, wild sea, plus iodine, which is very good for your thyroid here. And that helps you with your mind matter as well.
Okay, so thanks a lot for watching. Do share this video with your friends.
Yes.
Tag them and let them know that eating salmon is beneficial as well.
I'd recommend at least 3 to 4 portions a week. That's what I recommend, at least, if it's like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay? So, looking forward to hearing your feedback.
Okay, till next week. Take care. Have a great week. Bye-bye.